It was the summertime, and colleges went on hold. Ron, along with his friends Jane, Maury, and Adam, had just finished their final year's exams and planned to take a beach vacation to chill out and relax at summer days. It was a fun plan, and they wanted to do something adventurous this time. They started to locate a good place for the same and soon discovered that there was an uninhabited farmhouse near the riverside. It was about 20 kilometers away from the place they reside, and the amazing part was, the owner of the house was away since a long time, without keeping anyone to take care of the house, which means they can use the house without paying a penny for it. They thought, what an amazing plan they had made, and how clever they were. Well, it already turned 6 p.m. at the evening with the one-going plan they made, but as the farmhouse wasn't that far away, so they decided to leave ASAP without sparing a moment. They ran towards their house and packed their luggage. Placing necessary things into the car, and they set off on the trip. By the time they reached the farmhouse, it was already midnight. But as there was nobody to take control of their actions, and as they were here to have fun, they kept their stuff in the house and straight away went running over to the beach. There was nobody on the beach except the four of them. They were very excited to be present there. As they walked down the beach, it felt like they had entered a different planet. Everything seemed so mesmerizing. The sand felt cool on their feet. It was brown and beautiful, and the seawater seemed to be glittering in the moonlight. Anyway, they made a bonfire in the sand and sat around it. They even ate some snacks and started drinking the cans of sodas to chill. They were all engaged in enjoying and having fun, till Adam came up with nasty talks. The guys wanted to scare the girls. Adam started to tell Jane and Mary about a horror story he heard when he was a kid. But he somewhere believed that it was a true story, and this had happened with him too. He just made up a talk to scare the girls. He comes up with the story of Bloody Mary. But everyone had heard about this story in their childhood. It was said that if at midnight you call the name of Bloody Mary 3 times in front of the mirror, she does arrive with a dead baby in her hand.
Bloody Mary.
Well, they were grown up now, and why would they believe in something told when they were kids? Maybe it was just to fool them. The girls made fun of Adam and did not believe his foolish talk. And to challenge his stupid claim, Jane removed a small mirror from her clutch, placed it in front of her face, and said it thrice. Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, please come with your dead baby, Bloody Mary. There was a silence all over. All the 3 friends kept staring at Jane's dare, and then everyone busted into laughter. They made fun of Bloody Mary conspiracy. But abruptly, something strange happened with them. They saw something crooked in the midair, and could not believe their eyes. It was a woman which passed them through in the sky. But how can that be possible, they thought. But as it was dark, they assumed it to be their imagination, or maybe a big bird flying in the sky. But again, a few minutes later, they saw something in the midair. But it was an unidentified object this time. They understood there was something weird happening around them. And soon after, they heard a loud cry coming out of the water. But after Jane's call to Bloody Mary, there was something creepy about that place which every one of them became conscious about, but nobody said anything in certainty. That place gave a much weird feeling now. It was too cold and too quiet to be normal. it had turned into a scary, isolated beach. On the other hand, Adam and Ron decided to go. Look out for the voice, as maybe somebody might be in need of help, they wondered. They made up their mind to reconnoiter the beach. As they were walking along the water, they heard some bizarre noise coming out of the water. At first, they thought it to be an animal or a mammal, but soon later they heard the noise again, and clearer this time. It wasn't an animal. A crystal clear voice seemed as if it were calling somebody's name. So Adam decided to go near the water and look out for the voice. Maybe somebody drowning. But as he was about to step their feet into the water, Jane called them from behind. Anyway, as they could not find anything, they went back to the bonfire, and soon after went back to the farmhouse to sleep. It was almost 3 a.m. when Jane suddenly got up from her sleep. She felt something peculiar happening inside the room, like something moved by her legs. She could not understand it, and went straight away into the washroom to get fresh. There she stood in front of the mirror, looking at her face. It seemed different. She could notice some weird dullness and wooziness over her face. Her face had turned dark and gloomy. Well, she thought she might be sleepy, so that's the reason she could see things over her face. So she decided to go back to her sleep. She moved from the washroom, but soon noticed that her reflection in the mirror is still to be seen the way she was standing in front of it. But how could that be possible? She was standing at the door of the washroom. How could her reflection be seen in the mirror? As if she was still in front of the mirror, looking at her own very self. It was petrifying. Jane got startled. And all of a sudden, the reflection in the mirror looked at Jane and gave her a wicked smile. Jane was shocked over it, and she ran from the washroom, but the doors got shut on her face, which made her stuck in there. She could not believe what was happening with her, and screamed in fear, which made everyone in the house awake. And then the reflection of Jane in the mirror vanished into thin air. She was all stuck inside when she felt somebody standing behind her back. She turned around, and there she was. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary with her dead baby in her hands. She was standing right over her face. Jane got numb over it and fainted in fear. On the other side, all the three friends came running near the washroom after they heard Jane's cry. They tried to get into it, but the door was locked from inside. The only option left to them was to break the door. The boys came up and banged the door hard, resulting into it breaking up. And the door opened wide, giving the glance of Jane lying on the floor. They took her to the bed and waited for her to gain consciousness again. Jane came back to her senses and told them about the incident she came across in the washroom. But the three of them made fun of Jane and said she cannot fool them, so it's better that she cuts the drama off, and she should think of something unique the next time if she wants to fool them. But Jane knew what had happened with her. She knew it was Bloody Mary inside, and this is now going to get more peculiar. And as they were into the chat with Jane, the mirror on the wall fell straight down onto the floor and broke into pieces, taking everyone's attention towards it. Adam went up to it and tried to find the reason for its falling down. But all of a sudden, he noticed a reflection of an old, dull woman in the broken pieces. It was her, Bloody Mary, standing right at his back. The boy turned around and screamed in fear. Bloody Mary screamed too, and her black, bloody tongue came out of her mouth and reached to Adam's face and smashed him over the wall. Adam got banged on the wall and fell straight on the ground, motionless. He was gone, and now it was the turn of the three of them left in the room. She turned towards them, and they tried to escape from the room. As soon as the three of them ran towards the door, it got banged over their face. Bloody Mary looked at Ron, and now it was his shot. She caught hold of his neck from her black, long, precarious nails and lifted him in the air. She twisted it that hard that the noise of the broken bones could be heard clearly. Ron was no longer alive. His stoned, turned-back eyes and the hanging legs was the proof of it. The girls screamed in fear. Maury asked Bloody Mary to spare her, as it wasn't her who made fun of Bloody Mary or called her out. It was Jane who should be punished for the same. But Bloody Mary was not in a mood to take shits as when Jane called her out loudly with her dead baby. Everyone had laughed over it and made fun of her. She could not stand them, and nobody will be spared. Bloody Mary said she is not going to leave anyone alive, and now it will be their end. But while Bloody Mary was in a conversation with Maury, Jane jumped out of the window of her room and ran towards the woods to escape from there. Jane ran deep into the woods, thinking Bloody Mary won't be able to find her there. How stupid of her to think that. Anyway, she headed towards the main road to find some help when she heard a loud, painful cry of a girl. The noise had come from the farmhouse. It was Maury. Jane understood that she too had been killed by Bloody Mary, and now it will be her turn. She had to do something quick, or else she too will be dead. She ran as fast as she could and reached the main road in the meantime. But soon she noticed someone coming towards her from the corner of her eyes. It was Bloody Mary heading towards her. She ran towards the road and saw a car passing by over it. She called out for help to them and almost reached close to it when Bloody Mary pushed her hard towards the car, resulting into her accident with it. Jane got hit by the car, and there she laid on the road, blood spreading all over the area, and her eyes wide open towards the sky. Their revenge was taken. You think you will call Bloody Mary, making fun of her, you will be spared. How stupid of you to think like that.